Rodri has officially rejected PSG. Apparently, very recently, PSG had a direct phone call with Rodri, and Rodri's exact words were, "No thanks." In fact, Rodri did not even want to listen to PSG's financial offer, all the money they were going to throw at him, all the financial incentives. His words were, "No thanks," and that phone call ended as soon as possible. Gentlemen and ladies, let me tell you something about football heritage and the reason why Real Madrid still dominate the transfer market, even though they've gone 2 seasons back to back without winning any trophies. Okay? Hold on there. Now, football heritage and history cannot be bought. Football heritage and history cannot be rented. Football heritage and history cannot be lent. This is something that's cultural. This is something that over the years you gain through experiences, through winning trophies, the biggest games, having the biggest players, having that status going back decades. And this is something that Real Madrid have and PSG do not. In this transfer market right now, 2 main players that PSG and Real Madrid are going after are Rodri and Yon Diomande from Leipzig, the right winger from Ivory Coast. These are 2 key players, 2 main players that PSG and Real Madrid are fighting over. And those 2 players have chosen Real Madrid. Now, even though PSG have all the money in the world, all that money, they're the current Champions League winners, it doesn't matter. Because they're missing one thing: football heritage and football history. Real Madrid have gone 2 back-to-back seasons trophyless. Everyone's clowning them. Everyone's laughing at them. Well, guess what? That's the club that had Zidane, Figo, Ronaldo, both Ronaldos, Sergio Ramos, Marcelo, Alfredo Di Stefano, Makelele. That's the club that had those kind of players back in the day. Do PSG have that equivalent? No, they don't. So even though PSG have all this money in the world, they have the best players in the world right now, by far the best midfield in the world right now in Vitinha and Ruiz and Neves, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. They lack football heritage. Over the past couple of weeks, we have seen the rising young star, Diomande. One day I'll get his name correct. From Ivory Coast, Leipzig. He chose Real Madrid. In fact, PSG were chasing him. And then once Real Madrid phoned him, he chose Real Madrid. Because Real Madrid have history. They have football heritage. And that's why they still dominate the summer. They're still dominating right now the summer market. If Real Madrid wants you, they'll get you. The players always choose them. Now, I'm hearing that PSG want to sabotage the Rodri deal, etc., etc. They're mad about Yon Diomande. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no sabotaging going on. The players are still going to choose the club with the football heritage, and that's Real Madrid. And only a few amount of clubs have this status, this legacy. I say Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Manchester United. And even though they have their own football heritage, they don't come close to the heritage of Real Madrid. The legacy, the Champions League wins, the incredible games, the volley scored by Zidane in the 2002 final against Bayer Leverkusen. These are things that a lot of clubs don't have. These are things that young players right now have grew up watching on YouTube or in real life or on TV. They saw that, oh, this club is magical. This is the club I want to play for. So right now, PSG are crashing out. Yo, Rodri, Yon Diomande, These are two players that we want, and now they're choosing Real Madrid. You can't blame them. Football heritage. Football heritage is something that you can't buy. Football heritage is something that you cannot rent or lend. Football heritage is a DNA. Football heritage is in your blood. It's legacy. It goes back decades. It goes back many, many years. The big players, the big wins, the big trophies, the status. And that's something that PSG don't have. Money can't buy that. Oil money can't buy that. It can't. It doesn't matter, all the money you throw at all these players. And eventually, those players want to play for the clubs that have football heritage. Take Mbappe, for example. Mbappe could have had the biggest contract in the history of football right now at PSG. In fact, PSG threw him a bag a couple years ago. He still left for Real Madrid. He still left. In fact, Mbappe could have retired at PSG. Right? But Mbappe knows that the heritage, the history, the status, the sense of confidence you get when you wear that Real Madrid badge, nothing beats that. The same feeling you get when you wear that Man U badge, that Liverpool badge, that Bayern Munich badge, that AC Milan badge, that Juventus badge, that Ajax badge. Football heritage. Football history. PSG are thinking, we have all this money. We've won 2 back-to-back Champions League. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It doesn't matter. You're coming up against Real Madrid, the club with 15 Champions League titles. The whole world is laughing at Real Madrid right now for going back-to-back trophyless, as if they are going to crash out over that. As if it's over for them. As if it's over for Real Madrid. When they want a player, they'll get that player. They want Rodri, they'll get Rodri. They want Yan Diomande, they'll get Yan Diomande. Football heritage cannot be bought, bro. It can't be rented. It can't be lent. You have to work for that football heritage. It takes years, decades, not 10 years, not 5 years. I'm talking going back 50 years, bro. 40 years, bro. 60 years, bro. And Real Madrid have that advantage over PSG. The Zidans, the Ronaldos, the Figos, the Beckhams, the Casillas, the Ramoses. That's football heritage. And that's the reason why Real Madrid are still dominating right now the summer market. They're in a so-called mini crisis right now. So guess what? When they want a player, they'll get that player. Shirtless match day here. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.